Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today we're doing a big old book haul. I have so many books here that I need to show you guys, and I know what you're gonna say. Haven't you just started a new TBR challenge where I'm not allowed to make the number go up, it has to come down? Well, yes, you're correct. Some of these I acquired before I started that challenge. Some of them I have acquired since. I was doing really well with reading so many books, and I thought, oh well, there's a couple of things I just really want to pick up that I'm gonna read really soon. But realistically, I am supposed to be not buying books lately, but I have been. Not too many. A lot of these are actually ones that I have been gifted at kind of book events recently, or gifted as gifts. A lot of them are actually either romance books or new lit fic, and I have a couple of, one in here is a nonfiction as well. But maybe I'll run through and do the romance books first, because I got all of these romance books in the same place at this book event I went to, which was really fun. It was hosted by Headline Eternal, I think is their imprint name. So I turned up. Usually I get a couple of books at these book events, and at this book event, honestly, it was a crazy amount of books that were available, and I really got involved in snatching up so many good books. I definitely picked up way too many, and I'm kind of stressed by the pile that I have, but I do like reading romance in the summertime as well, and I think that a lot of these maybe will help me get to my goal of reading 200 books in the year, because usually I read romances pretty fast. Although I say that, I usually read good romances pretty fast. Bad romances I read pretty slowly. So we'll see what these are going to be, because most of them I've not heard much about. So I feel like maybe I'll just run through and talk through all of these books that I got. If you're not interested in romances at all, maybe just skip forward in this video, and there is a few other books that I've also picked up recently that might be more your speed as well. But if you are interested in romances, then the first one I'm going to talk to you about is this book, which I just picked up because this one has such a beautiful cover. I really love this kind of comic-y art style and all of the flowers, and it is called Late Bloomer by Maisie Eddings, and I believe this is a sapphic book about a girl who has a woman who has won the lottery, but it appears to have ruined her life. Basically, in this story, she wins the lottery, or she comes into a lot of money, and then goes and buys this failing farm in the middle of nowhere, deciding to be completely on her own. And of course, she's not all on her own, because there is a beautiful woman who will not leave her alone also on this farm. I don't know, this one sounds really cute. I've seen this in a few different places, and the reason I picked this up, other than the beautiful cover, is that one of my favourite romance authors has blurbed it on the back. I love Helen Huang's books so much, and she has said about this book that it blends sweetness, breathless romance, and moments of striking vulnerability. So that sounds really cute. It's also got a quote from Ali Hazelwood on the front, who is pretty fun actually. I've read some Ali Hazelwood before, and they can be very fun books as well. So I have very high hopes for this one, and I'm excited to read it. I don't know anything else about it, but if you've read it, then please let me know. Next up, I got two books by the same author, and these are more historical romances, and I've not heard anything about these. So these books are by Martha Waters. Firstly, I have To Marry and to Meddle, and next up I have To Woo and to Wed. I'm not sure which one comes first. Okay, To Marry and to Meddle is the first one, and these are Regency based romances. I don't want to read too much about the blurbs on these on the back of these, because honestly I think that most blurbs are written and spoil most of the fun of the book, and these look like very long blurbs. So I'm actually not going to read them out to you. I'm so sorry about that. But I think this book has the trope of a marriage of convenience between two noble families, and this one is maybe like a second chance romance, or I'm not sure what the vibe of this one is, or maybe this is enemies to lovers, I'm not sure, but these seem very fun, very tropey. I'm quite excited to. I love actually a historical romance, and kind of all of those tropes involved in Regency romance are very fun, but I do like it when it's done well. So we'll see about those two. Next up, I have one called Book People. I'm actually of the opinion that I do like books about books. I know some people can really hate that, and it just is very dull and boring. I like books that are set in bookshops and libraries and books about books. So this one is a romance about book people. And I think this is about two rival bookshop owners. The woman in this sells all kinds of genre fiction, and then the man has a very highbrow kind of literary bookshop, and they are, I assume, enemies, and I also assume going to fall in love. So that one seems really cute as well. Next up we have Here for the Wrong Reasons, which looks like another sapphic romance and maybe kind of a love triangle situation. Oh wait, I remember what this one is about. I think this one, yes, it's a dating show romance, which I have read one before, which I think was called like The Charm Offensive or something, which was a gay romance, and it was so adorably cute. And this one sounds like the lesbian version of that, but it's two women who are competing on a like bachelor-like show for the attention of this man and end up falling in love with each other. I love that. That sounds cute. That sounds messy. I'm excited to read this one. I'm not going to read the blurb, as like I said, I just find out too much information and I want to be there for the twists and the turns. Next up, we might have another, this might be sapphic as well, but it's a supernatural romance story. This one, I think out of all of them, I did like start reading the beginning of the blurb, and it does, just even the way the blurb is written, I'm like, I'm not sure this is going to be my thing, but it might just be silly enough that I enjoy it. It's about a girl, like it says, what was the first line I read? Oh yeah, the howling doesn't stop after the full moon. So there is this girl who is at university and basically gets bitten by a werewolf, and it turns out she likes it. She doesn't die, she likes it. So I think this is a werewolf sapphic romance, supernatural. That sounds silly enough just to be kind of up my street. I do often read some kinds of silly books. Actually, I haven't read any in a long time and I kind of need to. I do enjoy like a silly little romance. So that is me blasting through all of these romance books that I got at this event. Actually, I got one more book that has been, I've heard so much about this book. And I've heard mixed things, but mainly incredibly positive things. And I wanted just to get on board with that, to be honest. So the book is The Book of Azrael. I'm having trouble reading this. Azrael. The Book of Azrael. So this is a romance, but it's a romantasy. It's an epic romantasy. I think this is book 1 out of like a planned 10 books or something. And it is dense. Like, how many pages is this one? It's about 600 pages. So fantasy world. So this is set in and to be honest, I know nothing about what happens in this one. I've just seen it absolutely everywhere. When I got the opportunity to pick it up, I thought, well, I absolutely have to. Also, lots of people at this event really, really were a fan of this book, and that made me want to pick it up as well. So yeah, this is the Gods and Monsters series, I guess it's going to be. I think it's very like dramatic, you know, gods, monsters, wars, ancient vows, pacts. I don't know what else to say, but you're getting the vibe, you're getting the energy there. Yeah, once again, I don't know anything about this book. I would be really interested if you have read this one and you know my taste. Do you think I would like this? I would like to know before I jump in, to be honest. It's really hard to tell with a lot of romantasy whether I'm going to like it or whether I'm going to hate it. And unfortunately, a lot of it lately I end up hating. But I'm keeping an open mind, so let me know if you've read this. Although I've said that for pretty much every single one of these books, but please do let me know if you have read this, and specifically if I would like it. So that is all of the romance books. I kind of went quick fire through those because I don't know much about them and I picked them up at the same event. But now we have a few more books that I have either picked up in charity shops or have been gifted to me. So let's run through these. One book that I got most recently, I picked this up actually in my recent vlog that I did. So if you haven't gone to see that vlog, then go and see it now. Go and watch it. It's one of my favourite vlogs actually that I've done, and I'm really glad that you guys have enjoyed that one as well. It's the one where I went to Edinburgh. Went to visit my friend Laura. We had a great time. We drank a lot of wine, and I just really enjoyed how that vlog ended up, to be honest. So go and watch that if you haven't already. If you don't like vlogs, then that's fine. You can ignore this message. But I didn't actually show you the book that I ended up picking up at the end of that video, and that is Orlando. I was about to say Orlandra. So this is a Jacqueline Hartman book, and I have only ever read I Who Have Never Known Men by Jacqueline Hartman, and I loved it, and I've read it twice now and I loved it both times. And I've actually rarely reread books recently, but I reread it at the beginning of the year in January when I did a vlog all about reading like my previous 5-star reads to see if they're still favourites. Spoiler alert, this one was still a favourite, or I've Never Known Men was still a favourite, and this has been, I think, recently released by Vintage, but not obviously recently published. This was first published in the 90s, question mark? Yeah, I think 1996 this one was originally published, but this is a brand new cover for this story. I also don't know anything about this book at all. I really hope it's going to be similar to I Have Never Known Men. Obviously not similar in terms of like the plot, but I just feel like I absolutely loved the tone and like the ambiguity of that book, and I've had so many interesting discussions about that book because of the ambiguity of it, and not just because of the way that it ends, but just questions about what the entire message was. What was the purpose? Did you feel happy? Did you feel hopeful? Did you feel sad? I do think this one sounds so intriguing though. So basically this is about Aline, who is a very prim and proper and upright woman who is 35 years old. She's a literature professor, but she has a voice inside her head and she sees it as an alter ego that is like the opposite to her, like very kind of adventurous and sexual and brash. And I think one day this alter ego known as Orlando breaks free. I think this will be so interesting. I'm really excited to read this one. I have a feeling that I'll absolutely love it. This is actually a translated book. Jacqueline Hartman was Belgian, I think. Yes, she was born in Belgium. So this will be my second book ever that I will read by Jacqueline Hartman, and I hope that I can find more of her books and also that they're all being translated, because I'm not sure they were originally all translated. So, very excited about this one. Next up, this is a book that I was sent, or I was requested to be sent as well, because it's by an author that I'm really intrigued by, and that's because she's been nominated for the International Booker like 3 times or something, I think. So this book is Good and Evil and Other Stories. So this is a short story collection by Samantha Schweblin. I don't think I've ever read a Samantha Schweblin story before, but I'm just going to double check that. No, I haven't ever read any of her books before. So this is a collection of short stories. It's actually not out yet. This is an ARC copy. This comes out at the end of August. I'm really excited to read this. I've also been just absolutely loving short stories this year when I have not ever previously loved them. These stories are described on the back as sensational and unnerving, which is exactly what I want from short stories. That's what I've been loving about short stories recently. I've just read so many good collections that have really strange, haunting, odd, uncomfortable feeling short stories. I don't know if that's what these are going to be, but like from reading the back, I'm really excited. If you've ever read from this author, then let me know if you enjoyed it, because I'd be very interested to know. And I will read this very soon and let you know what I think, because I want to read this before it comes out in August as well. There's so many authors on the back that are like praising this as well, who I really love. So we'll see what I think about that one, but I feel like it's going to be a good one. Next up, I picked up a book in a charity shop recently, which I was so pleased at, because this book is getting a lot more attention because there's a movie coming out, and I keep seeing it coming like in the front of shops now, and I'm like, I picked that up in a charity shop for like £1, and that is Hot Milk. I think the movie's already out. This is, I believe from watching the trailer, it's about the relationship between a woman, a young girl, and her mother. I also just think this is going to be a perfect summer read. Like the trailer that I watched was very like hot sweltering kind of like summer vibes, but like with a dash of like emotionally charged, you know, mother-daughter relationship in there. I think it is mainly a coming-of-age story, and this was actually shortlisted for the Goldsmiths Prize back in 2016 as well, and I've read a few books actually from the Goldsmiths Prize before and I really enjoyed them, so I think this one will be interesting. And I also think not too long, it's around 200 pages, so that'll be like a nice summer read, I think, for a very hot day. Next up, we have a cute little non-fiction that I picked up called Psychedelics. I love mushrooms, and I also think that this will just be a really interesting kind of academic look at psychedelics through history. Also, just the book itself is really cool. I picked this up in a local bookshop to me, and I wanted to support them because I hadn't been into the bookshop before, and they'd recently been like broken into, and I felt really sad about it. So I picked up this book and I'm very excited about it. I picked up 2 books in there. So this is the first one, and the second one was this book that I'm so excited about. If there's one book out of this entire stack of how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Out of these 12 books, if there was a 5-star prediction from me, I think it would be this one. I think it was Emmy Reads talk about this so long ago, and she absolutely loved it. This is a Mexican book, and I think she originally read it for her Reading Around the World challenge, and I can't actually remember much of what it's about. I'm not sure if it is a horror vibe or if it's just described that way, but basically in this book we have an unnamed like main character who's the narrator of this story, and one day 2 women, or like one dark and stormy night, 2 women turn up at his house and just claim to know his deepest, darkest secret, and that in fact he is actually a woman and he's very confused by this. And I just think that sounds really interesting. And also it's described as very like atmospheric and kind of mysterious and like maybe a bit spooky. I just love the vibe of the cover, the title, it being the iliac crest. I did anatomy actually at university, and so like I just was immediately drawn to the, I just like, oh my god, the iliac crest. Like I remember learning about the bones and everything in like the pelvis, and it's just so interesting. So this is, like I said, a Mexican book and this is translated. So I don't know if this is going to be more like spooky atmospheric or spooky like horror. I don't know which way I'd rather it be, but I'm just very, very excited to get to this one. I think this will be really, really cool. And maybe an interesting discussion on like masculinity and gender. I'm not actually sure which way it's going to go, but I think that's all the books that I wanted to show you today. This is going to be kind of a short video because I feel like I've just absolutely stormed through that and told you about them all really quickly. But to be honest, what's the point in telling you more about them when I haven't read them yet? You know, I just want to show you what is incoming into my library recently, and you can then tell me which one should I read first, which ones should I throw away without even reading, because that would actually help me a lot, because I'm trying to get my TBR down, and this is 12 books you can have an opinion on. So thank you so much for watching this video. Huge thank you to my Patreons for supporting me and supporting this channel and making this just the best place to be on the internet. You guys are absolutely the best and I love you so much. One small Patreon related, kind of book club related announcement is that I am going to do live shows again for the book club, and I'm really excited about it. I'm hoping that you guys are too. I'm going to be doing them over on YouTube. I think that's the easiest way to do them, because if I was going to do a Zoom call or anything, time zones really matter, and I know that a lot of my audience is not actually in the UK. Although speak up if you are in the UK, because I don't get many comments from people who are in the UK. So maybe I'm wrong about that, but I do feel like I have quite a significant international audience on here, so I want everyone to be able to join in the discussion or like watch the discussion whenever they can. I'm a little bit nervous about doing these live shows again. I've done them before, I did them over on TikTok, and they are really fun, but I just get worried that I'm just going to be sitting there and no one's going to be talking to me. I do think I really want to put more energy and more effort into making the book club a really kind of productive and like wonderful place for us to really read about these books from all around the world and discuss them in more detail, because it just feels like a little bit, I don't know, every time we read the book club book and then we just move on, I just feel a little bit like, oh, this one might be really fun to like kind of talk about. So the first book that we are doing that for is going to be, hold on, let me get it. It is called The Memory of Love. This is the book that we're currently reading for July, and I'm going to be doing the live show discussion for it in the first week of August. I already feel like we're going to have a lot to discuss about this book. I think that it's been really fun reading a slightly longer, chunkier book for the book club. I think that we can have some really interesting discussions about it. So I'm excited to do that, but I'm also a little bit nervous. We're currently voting for the book club book for August. We've decided we're doing South Africa. We're very excited about that. And we are choosing between 3 different choices over on the Patreon. So if there's ever a time that you want to join the book club and the Patreon, you can go and do that. There's always a link in the description. But yeah, basically look out for that live show. I think it'll be on the 6th or the 7th of August, or I can't totally remember, maybe the 5th. I can't remember which date I've actually chosen for that. I hope at least some of you will join with me and chat to me about the book or about whatever, you know. I'll just probably be sitting there for maybe 40 minutes or up to an hour. We'll see how long we end up chatting for, but hopefully someone will be there to chat with me. But that is all from me today. Thank you so much for watching this video. Please leave a like if you haven't already, and remember to subscribe to this channel, and thank you so much for watching. I'll talk to you again soon. Bye!